Okay, thank you all for joining me. I'm going to take a moment just to quickly introduce myself. My name is Rishi, and I work at Cengage Canada as a digital solutions manager. In today's 25-minute session, we're going to take a look at MindTap for Microsoft Office. Hopefully, by now you've had a chance to register for your instructor's MindTap course. If not, there are a couple of methods that you can use to sign up for your instructor's MindTap course, and I'll quickly go through them right now. Okay, so method one is that you can register on your Cengage student dashboard. And to do this, your instructor may have shared a direct MindTap registration link with you. It kind of looks like this link that we see here on the screen, student.cengage.com/course-link/ and a string of characters that we see at the end. Or your instructor may have directly shared the string of characters that we see at the end called the course key. They may have shared just the course key with you, which you can also apply by creating an account at account.cengage.com. Okay. One other method for you to register for MindTap is from your institution's learning management system. And so this is the website where you access all of your courses. Some of you may know this as D2L, Blackboard, Moodle, Canvas. If any of these sound familiar to you, that's your institution's learning management system. And so I've got a screenshot on my presentation here from D2L or Brightspace. Your instructor may have placed a direct link to MindTap within your course. That looks kind of like the link I have here. They may have placed a link that says something like Access MindTap here, or they may also just have placed links to specific assignments or activities in MindTap that you will be completing every week. Okay, here's a screenshot from Blackboard. Here's a screenshot from Moodle. And here's a screenshot from Canvas. So of course, you don't have to remember all of the 4 words that I just mentioned, but if you're confused about where you need to go to access MindTap, please check your instructor's course outline, syllabus, or any announcements that they may have shared, or of course, connect with your classmates as well. Okay. Regardless of the method you choose, when you create a Cengage student account, at account.cengage.com or going through the learning management system, you'll be prompted to create an account. And going through the account creation process will allow you to enter your email, and we highly recommend using your institutional email address. You can enter your first and last name, your birth year, your institution, select your time zone. And when you hit next, it'll let you know that an email has been sent to the email that you entered on the previous screen. And there's a verification or a validation process that you need to follow. So please check that. Please check your email inbox and follow the instructions in that link or in that email. This is what that email will look like. It'll tell you that you can activate your Cengage account, but it also lets you know that the link expires in 1 day. Okay, so if you happen to find this email 1 day after you went through the registration process initially, you'll have to restart the account creation process, and that'll re-trigger this activation email being sent to your email. Okay. Okay. With that, let's jump into MindTap for Microsoft Office. Okay. So MindTap's a learning platform which includes the full eBook plus several learning activities that I'm about to show you today. And to do that, the first thing I'll do is jump to my MindTap homepage. Okay, so what we see here is the MindTap homepage, and I'm looking at MindTap for Microsoft Office for the New Perspectives collection, which is one of our 3 Microsoft Office textbooks. It's also possible that you may be using the Illustrated collection or the Shelley Cashman series. And so at the very top, you may see the name of your textbook displayed, or your instructor may have changed this title simply to let you know which course and which section you're in. Okay. I've built an example course for myself, and I see modules for Word and Excel. But depending on the course you're taking and depending on what's covered in it, you may see different folders. You may see folders for Outlook, PowerPoint, Access, or some combination of each of these. Okay. So as I mentioned, MindTap is a learning platform that includes the full ebook plus several other learning activities. MindTap for Microsoft Office also has another learning application in it called SAM. So if you've heard your instructor use the word SAM before, well, SAM is an application that powers all of the Microsoft Office assessments and activities that we see inside MindTap. SAM stands for Skills Assessment Manager. But essentially, all you need to know is that it's the engine that powers all of the Microsoft Office assignments and activities in MindTap. Okay, so I'm going to start off by going into the Excel folder. Okay, in Excel module 1, I see that the folder starts off with the textbook project. Okay, but before I even go to the textbook project, I think what I'll first show you is the SAM training. Okay, the SAM training is going to bring you to a simulation/remote desktop environment. And once the activity loads up, you'll notice here that we've got 41 tasks that I see in the top left corner. And these are 41 tasks in Microsoft Excel that are relevant to module 1. Okay. I'll make sure I'm sharing my computer sound with all of you so you can hear it. But I'm going to just take a look simply at renaming a worksheet. Okay, that's task number 5. And we've got 3 modes in every SAM training assignment. The observe mode allows us to watch a video of the task being performed from start to finish. So let's take a look at the video.
Renaming a worksheet can help identify the type of data it contains. In the Cells group on the Home tab, click the Format button. Click Rename Sheet. The text in the Sheet tab is selected. Type Sales in the Sheet tab. Press Enter. The Sheet tab is renamed Sales.
Okay, so that's a simple task. We just renamed the sheet, but we just watched a video of it being done. Next, we can move on to practice or apply modes. In practice mode, we still have a video, but now it's going to be us as students doing the clicking and the typing. So let's take a look.
Renaming a worksheet can help identify the type of data it contains. In the Cells group on the Home tab, click the Format button.
Okay, so now it's my turn, and I'm going to move my mouse to the Cells tab, and I'm going to click on the Format button.
Click Rename Sheet.
Okay, it's asked me to rename the sheet, so I'll do that.
The text in the Sheet tab is selected. Type Sales in the Sheet tab.
Okay, I'm going to do that.
The Sheet tab is renamed Sales.
Awesome. And finally, in apply mode, there's no video, there's no audio, there's no suggestion on what I'm supposed to do. We just see the task instructions in the bottom right corner, and we're expected to perform the task from start to finish. Okay, so in this case, because I've gone through observe mode and practice mode, I'm confident that I know how to do this. I'm going to close the instruction, and where do I go? Go to Format Cells. Nope, that's not where I need to go. I can go from here. I can rename, and I can hit sales as well. Great. So there are 2 different ways to do it, and I got the task correct. Okay. In some tasks, it's not mandatory that you have to go through observe and practice and apply. If you've had some experience with the Microsoft Office application, you can go straight to apply mode and complete the task. Okay. You don't have to finish all tasks in the same session either. So you can definitely work on a few and come back another time, and all of your progress will be saved. Okay. Once you're done all of the tasks, you can hit the submit button. But don't worry, even if you don't hit the submit button, it will be auto-submitted whenever the due date passes. Okay. So that's the SAM training. If you did need to do a system check, we'll give you several options in each activity to check whether your system is optimized to run these trainings. Okay. So we've seen the trainings, and we'll now take a look at the textbook projects. I'm going to go back to my student account, and every module opens up with the textbook project. The way this book is laid out, and it doesn't matter which Microsoft Office book from Cengage you're using, but the way all of our textbooks are laid out is that we're going to have you read the content, but as you read the book, you're also going to complete a project. Okay. Before I jump into the project, I just want to say that the view that you see here may be different based on what your instructor has assigned to you. You'll have noticed that for me, some activities say counts towards grade. And if I scroll down, there are other activities that say practice. Based on what your instructor has assigned to you, they may have some activities say practice, others say counts towards grade, or you may not even see the same activities that I'm seeing. It's possible that they may have hidden some of these. Okay. But if your instructor has assigned the textbook project, you'll find this pretty helpful. Before I started, you can get some information on how you can complete a textbook project. You can check if you've got the correct version of Microsoft Office. You can review some common mistakes. And you can also check if you're having any troubles due to macros or untrusted file warnings. Below that, you'll also see the assignment details, how many submissions you are allowed, how many submissions you have remaining. And again, this can vary based on the settings your instructor has set up. Okay, so I'm going to hit start. And here it tells me that I can download my start file. And because we're looking at the textbook project, the only instruction is to launch the ebook. Okay, so if I click on start file, it's going to automatically start downloading a start file. And you'll notice that it's coded with my name in it. So the file name automatically inherits my name. And I can start the project by launching the ebook. So the ebook opens up in a new tab. Okay, and it tells me to go to my file, download my file here, download project files, and get started. Okay, so I can open up the file that I previously downloaded. Perfect. So we're in module 1, so we're starting off with a blank file. But as you move down the modules, you'll see that these files come populated with a lot of data. And so I can now move on to doing the reading, and it gives me some tasks, and I'm going to finish those tasks here. At the end, I'll be able to come back to SAM, and I'll be able to drag and drop my finished file. Let's see if I've got a solution file right here. I do. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to drag and drop my file. And as long as the file name matches the expected file name, I'll be able to submit. And as soon as I submit, I'll get a confirmation message if my assignment's been graded. And I can take a look at a graded summary report. And I can also take a look at a study guide. Okay, I can also click on view all reports. It'll take me to a page where I can view many more reports on my performance. Okay, so that's the textbook project. So we've seen so far, we've seen the SAM trainings, and we've seen the textbook projects. Okay, moving on, you'll also have end of module projects. And if I click on the end of module project I see here, I'm just going to refresh my account, log back in. Let's try that once again. Okay, I'll launch Excel, module 1, and I'll find the SAM end of module project. Okay, so when I launch it, again, just like we saw in the textbook project, we can check if we have the correct version of Microsoft Office. We can review common mistakes, and we can see how many submissions we've got remaining. The end of module projects are slightly different than the textbook project. In the end of module projects, you're no longer going through the ebook, you're no longer reading the content, but you'll be given with an instruction file that will follow the use case of a real world business or an institution. So let's take a look at the instruction file for SAM end of module project 1. Perfect. So in this case, we're looking at a biotech firm, and it tells us the instructions to open the relevant files, give them the relevant file names, and then it gives us the project steps. So it tells us here that as the operations manager, you use Excel to maintain project data and schedule facilities usage. You're finalizing the projects and scheduling worksheets for the current week. Begin on the project's worksheet by increasing the font size, and you'll see that as we scroll down, there are several more steps. And once you're completed with all of the steps, there is some suggestion on what your final workbook should look like. And if you're happy with how you've completed all of the steps, you simply come back to SAM, and you're going to drag and drop your submission file here. Again, as long as the file name is a match, you'll be able to submit. But it gives me a warning here, and it tells me that SAM has detected that this is not the start file for this project, so your instructor may reject the submission. That's interesting. For the purposes of this demonstration, what I've done is I've just generated solution files, and I'm uploading those solution files. So it's not that I've actually worked on the project myself using my start file. So SAM has got an academic honesty detector in it, or a cheat detection feature in it. So if you're using a file that hasn't been generated specifically for you, if you're not starting from the start file, it will notify your instructor that there may be something worth looking into. Okay. So I've submitted again, and I get a confirmation message, and again, I can view a graded summary report or a study guide. So that's the end of module project, and we've actually got 2 end of module projects here. And the great thing is that throughout MindTap, we'll have the opportunity to learn Excel from the perspective of different job functions and the perspective of different industries. So if I take a look at the instruction file for end of module project 2, we saw that in module for the first project, we were following the use case of a biotech company, but now we're following an electric company. And here it tells me that Verdi Hansen is a student in an electrician training program as part of her internship with Ortiz McNally Electric. She uses Excel to update price estimates for projects that the company is bidding on. Okay, and then it gives me the project steps. So these projects will help you learn Excel through several different perspectives, or whichever application you may be learning, whether it's Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Access, etc. And the reason I wanted to show you this module, even though the submission process is the same, is that in some projects, your instructor may have turned on automatic file rejection if one of these criteria are met. So if I'm using another student's start file, if I'm using content that was copied and pasted from another student's start file, if I'm containing information associated with a different assignment, if I completed this on an online cloud-based version of Excel instead of an installed version, or if this is just a random file that I found on the internet, your instructor may have turned on a setting to reject the file altogether. So this is a good opportunity for you to self-correct. If you may have made any kind of honest mistakes here, you could self-correct. You'll notice that it still tells me that there are 3 submissions remaining, so I can easily use all of them. I haven't been penalized 1 attempt due to the automatic rejection. Great. So we've seen the SAM trainings, we've seen the textbook projects, and we've seen the SAM training. To wrap up, we will take a look at the SAM exam. The SAM exam is quite similar to the SAM training that we saw earlier. The only difference is that the SAM exams open up directly in apply mode. So you may remember that when we saw the trainings open up in observe, practice, and apply, where we could watch a video, then in practice mode, we could try some of the tasks while watching the video, then in apply mode, we just had the task instructions in the bottom right corner. And so the exam is all of the same tasks, but just with the task instructions in the bottom right corner. So there's no video for us to watch. We just try and perform the task from start to finish, which is why it can be useful if your instructor has assigned both the training and the exam to go through the training and then finish the exam, because you'll have interacted with each of these tasks in the training. Finally, to wrap up, your instructor may have made the career readiness folder visible. And if one of your goals is to graduate this course and get officially certified through the Microsoft Office Specialist certification, we've got some practice exams here. So I'm going to take a look at the Excel 2019 Associate exam, and there are some practice exams for us here, and you can complete these and eventually try and get officially certified from Microsoft. With that, I'll stop sharing my screen, but I'll wrap up with the presentation. I've got some screenshots here of the common error messages that you can see. So if your file name was incorrect, we saw these project incident notification screenshots and also the rejection screenshot. But thank you all for attending. We will be sending out the recording for this session, and we aim to send it to all of you by September 30th. You can find more information from our student ambassadors. So these are students that have used MindTap and SAM for Microsoft Office in other courses and have had lots of success in their courses with it. You can hear from them and learn from their experiences at cengage.ca/student-ambassador. And if you need individual help with anything, you can find some frequently asked questions, or you can also submit a ticket to our customer support team at support.cengage.ca. Okay. With that, I hope all of you found some value in this session. We wish you all the best in your course. And if you need any individual help, please get in touch with us. I see a question in the chat. So actually, before we wrap up the meeting, I will answer that question. Okay, so the question was, is there a way to do an Excel Learn It document for practice? Yeah, so it is possible. It depends on what your instructors made available. It's possible that your instructor may have either hidden the activity, or they may have set something up as graded. If you did want to use the same project as a practice project, you can definitely ask your instructor to duplicate it. If you've seen something in the session and you are curious about how your instructor can set it up, you can also let your instructor know what you saw, and we can help them set it up for practice for you, or we can set up another practice course for you. Yeah, so there are two possibilities. Your instructor could reset your attempt if you wanted to try it again, or you can ask your instructor if there's any possibility that they can duplicate it. Okay, so if there are no more questions, we'll now end the session. Thank you all again for joining, and I hope this was valuable, and we wish you all the best for the semester ahead.